When I think of dying, I think of you close your eyes and this soul and body that we have now is never here again. And everything that you've ever worked for, every relationship you ever made, and all those things are no longer there. Poof, gone.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yep. So,
Here we are.
first things first, my grandma yelled at me for cussing, so I guess I'm going to try to think about not saying the F word as many times, but
For sure, yeah.
when it's needed, it's needed.
That is, yes. I probably did more than what you did last time.
Yeah,
And it's
think-
funny because my wife's grandma's sister said, I got on there and I was watching, your husband talk, and then they started cussing, so I turned it off.
Yeah, I had a couple people. Some people thought it was organic and it's us, and that's going to be how it is. And if you don't want to hear cuss words, I would just turn this off now.
For sure.
But that's going to be the first and last time that we approach that question. But that just shows that we're listening to these comments.
For sure.
Let's just get right into it. I don't even want to talk about it, but the Super Bowl.
Thank God the Chiefs lost.
Golly. Well, thank God
Unless you bet on them.
unless you bet on them, and then everyone is rejoicing that the Chiefs lost, and you're wallowing in self-pity.
Yeah, I was smart enough. I didn't make a bet. Usually when the Super Bowl comes around, I have a group of friends. We all play some cards, watch the game. More cards playing than usually watching a game, unless the Bengals are in it. And
Yeah.
I haven't been alive since that happened.
They were in it one time.
Oh yeah, they was in it one time, and
We lost.
to the Chiefs.
Yeah. You might have been playing too much cards, too drunk.
No,
to
it
even
wasn't.
know
It
what's
wasn't to the
going on.
Chiefs. It was to the Rams, wasn't it?
We lost to the Rams, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back to being a dumbass. But yeah. I'm glad it wasn't even close.
I'm
Like, I'm s-
not. So I think I should.
Go ahead. You go ahead
yeah,
and
I
talk.
think
Yeah,
I
let's
should
get the negative out of the way.
I guess I deserve what I got, but I bet on the Chiefs, and I put a pretty hefty bet on it. I had been not betting for almost 9 weeks. We should probably dive into that. So
Logan has a bad betting problem.
yeah, I have been really up and really down with gambling, and here recently it's just been down and down. So then for like the second half of the season, I just stopped. So for about eight or 9 weeks, I had been not betting, and I felt so good about it. And I was like, man, this is awesome. And then the Super Bowl rolls around, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put one down. I'm gonna put one down.
Just one big bet.
So I tried to let my nuts hang, and they chopped them off.
Honestly, I gotta throw something in there too. If I was to bet, and
I just want to say, no person out there is betting that the Chiefs ain't scoring in the first half. If you are, you're a millionaire. Okay?
Swear.
I know everybody's like, oh, I think the Eagles are going to win. But, I mean, the whole week, I told Anthony, I said, dude, the Eagles have the better team. The Eagles should win.
On paper, Eagles should win.
But for some reason, I just felt that the Chiefs were, and I bet. And I am sad about betting that. But
to make you feel any kind of better that you lost, that does suck that you lost.
Yeah.
And, if it was to replay, if that was the same exact Super Bowl, to give them a redo, I'm still betting the Chiefs.
yeah, so am I. And
And
everyone's going to say that's so stupid.
it is
to
very.
say. I can't wait for
Yes.
them just to drill us in there. But
Yes.
if you go against 4-time Super Bowl winning Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, I mean, Karlaftis, Chris Jones, it's just like
Worthy, all
they-
those guys.
they had monsters. But then again, dude, Saquon is built different.
I thought if
And they stopped him.
I really thought the Chiefs were winning.
Bro,
they
they were
thought
not
they
24
had
in a
it.
row. I was like, they might still win.
Yes, that's the thing with them. That's the thing. You could, swear to God, first half be over and they could be down 30. I have watched it. I've watched it. Them come back and win, and
I
you're like,
watched it. Oh, I should have bet
what
that
are you
one.
doing? Yeah, like what? How is that even possible?
Yep.
But yeah,
They
like you
they
said,
ran
make you
the-
feel any kind of better. If you had this another chance with, if the Chiefs are in it, I gotta bet them.
they
The
ran
Chiefs, if there's any bet you make and the Chiefs are a part of it, you make it. And if you lose, you know, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Now I'm blind squirrel with no money to go to the eye doctor.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, but it's part of it. If
It
anyone
is.
out there,
Is struggling with some betting.
if you got a gambling problem, hit me up because I'm a good guy to talk to. I've been through the ups of it and the downs of it.
Yeah, and to reiterate how bad this is for him. It's not just I got a bad betting problem. I lose a couple $100 here and there. Old boy over here has banned himself from almost every betting app.
Yeah, I'm off of so I started off on DraftKings. I became like a gold member. Not Austin Powers, but somehow I'm in there like, oh God, I guess that's a problem. Then I went to FanDuel because I banned myself from DraftKings. I just got smacked after smack.
Yep.
Went to Bet365, banned. BetMGM, banned. Got
Yeah.
destroyed on there.
Which come back to all these apps he's been banned from. Because he bans himself, not because they banned him.
Yeah,
But,
it's self-exclusion.
yeah. So you take it upon yourself, like I'm losing this money, being stupid. I'm just going, and you can choose on how long you ban yourself. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can choose. 6 months to a year or
Yeah,
whatever.
or 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks. Logan chose a year. That's how bad it is
On every one of them.
on all of them. It's got to the point, and I've only used FanDuel and a little bit of DraftKings. Those are the only two I got downloaded on my phone. He's got, like you said, Bet365 and
got too
MGM.
many. I had
Yeah.
at least I didn't have them all because I would delete them. I'd had 6 at one point, and then Anthony got me betting on video games. I don't
That-
even know what these video games are.
That
I
is
don't-
funny though.
I don't know anything about
And honestly, if anybody did it, it would definitely be Anthony.
I don't
And
know
he would and
anything-
he wins.
the game. He was winning. He was winning and got banned because he was winning. He gets in these Discord groups, and I swear I'm like,
But he pays for these Discord groups, don't he?
yeah,
But it pays off, obviously.
yeah, he was going up crazy units, and then me, I'm like, let me get in there.
Hey,
And
Anthony, what's your pick for this week?
every time I lost, every time.
That's all of us though. But no, I've never bet on those games. But back to the bet apps, I've only, like I said, I've only used those two, and from hearing you say it, when you compare those apps, obviously one's got more than the others. FanDuel and DraftKings are probably the most popular ones.
those are the Mac Daddies.
Yeah, those are the bosses.
Yeah.
So it's got to the point where Logan's like, bro, I need you to put this on there for me.
Yeah, I'd have
Put
to
50
text
on it
him
for
and
me.
for a while, I was texting them and telling them to bet for me, and sometimes it's funny to laugh at, and then I would look at like my year to date up and down, and I'm like, it ain't funny, but that's all you can do is laugh about it
For sure.
and just nip it in the bud. I'm glad that the NFL season's over. I had a horrible NFL season. Buckwheat said he could score on LeBron.
Oh my gosh!
And then
Listen,
this week
I
he,
have a story for you guys, and this is
he went and played
no
some
bull crap. This
pickup
is a story.
basketball.
So, Logan's brother Dakota, we were working Friday. I think it was Friday. It might have been Saturday. It was one of those days. Anyway, we went and
Saturday.
it was Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, Dakota, we're working in the shop, and he says they're going to play ball at that old church if you want to go. And I'm like, let me ask my wife. Make sure I got make sure I can go do it. Should be
Yeah.
able to. I ain't got nothing planned.
Yep.
He calls me, hey, you going? I'm like, yeah, I'll go. So I grab my shoes, I grab my inhaler. Always gotta have that.
It ain't easy being wheezy.
It's not easy. For those guys out there that have asthma, I feel it.
How many times have people said, "Man, it's not that bad."
I guarantee. I mean, you. I
Oh
mean,
my
you.
God, yeah.
Yeah. But so I go out there, and I'm telling you, the first game we're in there, I get picked up. We're in the first game, and the team's actually kind of decent. So I'm not doing a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
I'm not running up and down because I know I'm gonna have to use my inhaler because I ain't done nothing since we had the sports league.
Yeah.
So I'm going down, and I'm making passes. I might be dribbling the ball up the floor, but I'm not running. I'm not playing hard defense.
Yeah.
I'm already tired.
You can't breathe.
Oh, I'm like doing that number when you're like just like, And I'm embarrassed. I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed. So then,
And you're hardly doing anything.
hardly doing anything. So after all that, so long story short of the basketball situation of I went and played. I suck. So I'm just gonna retract that comment from me scoring on LeBron because I don't know. I can't do that. I'm not retracting Miles Garrett. I'm not retracting that. If you can give me a good 30-yard run, just a one run, like I don't want another try. If I don't get it, then you know what? I don't get it.
Did you not see those guys swarming Patrick Mahomes?
I just said though, just Miles, just one player. I really do believe if I can. I think you could.
No,
I really do. I think you could.
Putting that in me. Nope.
Okay, but other than that, I am retracting. I cannot score on LeBron. I probably couldn't score at this point on Ben Bossy. I couldn't score on Ben Bossy.
Not be able to score on Ben Bossy.
I really.
And he might drop 40 on your head.
That's very. It's been done.
Yeah.
It's been done. He's done it. But yeah. So I had to bring that up. I thought you guys would think that's funny. I think it's funny. Logan's been dying to even tell you all about that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one for me. When I heard that, I said, "Yep, that's comic gold."
I mean,
another set of comic gold though that we have is so I'm the first chair in the barber shop, and a guy comes in, and most of the time I'm the guy that says, "Hey man, how's it going? Do you have an appointment with us?" Blah blah blah. Guy comes in, and he kind of speaks broken English, and he's like, "Can I get a haircut?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think Dakota might be able to get you. Just give him a second." Blah blah blah.
I just remembered it.
And he's like, "Oh, cool." So he sits there. Dakota's finishing up his haircut, and he's got like a jacket zipped up to like the top of his neck. And Dakota's like, "I can get you now, man. You ready?" And he stands up and he takes his jacket off and hangs it up, and then we all kind of start looking around at each other, and everybody's starting to like start laughing, and we're like, "What the heck's going on here?"
I'm like, oh, is this real?
Dude's got no shirt on, zero shirt, and I'm like,
We have families in there.
two moms
Yes.
were in there, and he's standing around like, "Do you guys take cash or is it only a card?" So he's standing here like trying to figure out payment options and going through all these things with no shirt on in the middle of a public barbershop, and I'm like, maybe this is just normal for him.
And to kind of reiterate what we're doing here, we're in a shop, and probably half a mile from us is a truck stop.
Yeah,
And I would bet that he was a truck driver. I think he had a headset with him and stuff.
yeah, he had to be.
He was a truck driver, so he probably does drive a lot and probably didn't have a shirt on and he just had a jacket on. But if that's me, I'm just leaving the jacket on.
Bro, I'm not trying to get the hair on me. For one, you got the cape,
Yeah.
and buckwheat chokes people out with the cape, so they ain't getting hair on them.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. I don't like hair on me. I know people don't like it on them, but that's probably a question that each of my clients says. Can you loosen that up?
Yeah, can you loosen this a little bit? Because
I can't breathe.
you're choking me. You're choking me.
You're choking me. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. I just don't want no hair on you.
So the new policy at Break Room, because we let it go, is basically pants are required, but shirts are optional.
Yeah, honestly, I literally was sitting there talking to the guys. I was like this close, this
Dude.
close. If there
'Cause
wasn't moms, if there was just boys in there, I swear,
Yeah.
if there was just men in there, I'm taking my shirt off and I'm cutting somebody's hair.
Dude, I would have done
My
it
next
too.
client comes in, I took my shirt off, I'm cutting his hair, and I dare somebody say something to me. That is
Yeah.
hilarious. Bro.
Now, I think that one day we just all five need to have our shirts off, cutting hair.
Yes, yes, that would be the funniest thing ever.
Dude.
But it's just crazy what walks in those doors. I got a story for you. So I was just starting. This is new. I was new. I was so freshman. That's what I would call it. Fresh meat, freshman. I didn't know what
We called those in football. We called those Twinkies because whenever you started off at on our football team, they'd give you the yellow pants and you get a yellow practice jersey. So everyone's gonna remember Twinkies. But so you were a Twinkie.
Yeah. So I was a Twinkie then, and every haircut that walked in was the hardest. It wasn't like somebody coming in and was like, "Hey man, can I just get a fade?" My first four
Flat top.
my first four haircuts was, yeah, give me a flat top, but make it square, like the perfect landing strip.
But I want it like this high.
Yeah, but on the top of my head, I want it like this high.
Yeah.
So those cuts are really hard.
Very hard.
I've mastered them now, but now it got to the point to where this guy, and it wasn't a kid, it was a grown man. A grown man came in, and he was like, "Hey man, I got this picture I want to show you, and I always tell people, if you want a haircut and you don't know what it is, don't know how to explain it, bring a picture.
Yeah, bring a picture.
If you bring a picture, we can get it down.
Yeah.
Unless I ate my words this day. He brought this picture, sat down. He had a lot of hair. He sat down and said, "Hey man, I'm going to a Comic-Con."
Yeah, he already looked like a odd character, and he's
Yes.
kind of like moving like a lot.
Yes.
And I was like, man, what is this guy about to show, Buckwheat?
He
pulls
he
out.
pulled out a picture, and I'm like, okay, maybe he printed it off. Cool, he printed off a picture.
Dude, he unrolls it like a scribe, and he's like, "This
Yes.
is it." And
I thought I was reading the Declaration of Independence.
it's an anime character.
Yes, it was.
We don't know which one it was.
I don't know.
We're not fluent in anime.
Imagine if you looked at an avatar, how they got the arrow down on their head. Well, imagine that was hair, and you flipped it, and everything up here was like even, like this was all even, but he had an arrow in the back, and he wanted to keep it not faded. It was
I
the
thought he
wildest.
wanted like spiky hair on the top.
Yeah, but this was all even though. All this was
Yeah.
even. Like it wasn't like a mohawk thing.
Yeah.
Everything was spiked up here, but the back of the end, he wanted it to be like sling blade.
And the problem was, first of all, you're showing a cartoon haircut to a barber on a real head.
Yes.
And then we've got Landon Lawrence in the Landon Lawrence gang.
God, yeah. Oh yeah.
And-
Beg you not. The shop was full, and I'm new. Everybody in the shop knew I was new, and everybody that was in there, we all bull crap to each other. We talk crap. We do all these things.
And it's just a group of 6 high school jokesters led by the king himself. And this kid, and we're all trying not to laugh. And
I
didn't know what to do, because it just gets to a point where no matter how serious you are, or how professional you are, stuff is just funny.
that I don't know if there's a time that'll beat that, dude. I didn't know what to do, and it wasn't like it was a paper that was printed out on the best printer, dude. It was
And Buckley, like,
there was no color.
he held it down the line and said, "Logan, how would you do this?" And I was like, "Give him the haircut."
Yeah, just do it, man. So I kid you not, I stuck that thing on my back bar, and call me Picasso.
Yep. He straight up went.
I
"Man,
just
go."
kept, hey man, I was cutting it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Keep going. Just that's not even faded, but we'll do it. You know what I mean? That really happened.
Hey, you got to
and
fit the part when you're going to comedy.
Yes, you got to fit the part. Yes, that was those were fun times, man.
That is.
When you're new in the barbershop, and we all do get some funny things. Ain't none of us got anything funnier than Dakota, though. Dakota gets the funniest.
Dakota, he thinks that no one ever gets anything that he's got, but here recently he does always get the goofiest stuff. He got the guy with no shirt on.
Yes, he got the guy that said, "I need a haircut. I need it bad. Can you please get me in?" Dakota's like, "Yeah, get me in." So he sets him down, literally sprays his hair, about to cut his hair. Dude was like, "Is your haircut $35?"
He said, "Yeah, that's not gonna."
He said, "All right, yeah, take this off. I can't. That's too much." And we're like, there's like I said, the shop is always full.
Dude, this
We're
guy
pretty
walks.
we're a busy shop, so it's like
This guy walks out and says, "Too much."
too much left. They ain't seen him since. And Dakota's standing there probably laughing in his head, but embarrassed, like, because you don't know
Yeah.
what to do in that situation.
Really?
I still would not know what to do if that happened in my situation.
I'd just be like,
Okay,
so the whole day, I was like, "Dakota, you are not worth your price, buddy. You are not worth what you're trying to charge."
no, that's funny. What else did he get? He got he did have an accent with the Mohawk kid.
Yeah, so
This is kind of funny. But
first the
kinda
kid
sad.
said, all right, a kid comes in, young little wrestler, and he's trying to look aggressive. And the first time he gets his hair cut by Dakota, he goes, "I want a mohawk." And he's like, "I want it an inch thick." And Dakota's a very serious technical guy. So if you say an inch,
He pulled out tape measure.
you might as well pull out a tape measure, roller, a protractor, and a marker, because it's coming. It's
gonna be an inch.
So you run an inch is about this, about the width of this, your thumb, I think, something like that.
I would say thumbnail, but go ahead.
Oh, thumbnail, yeah.
Maybe.
See, that my inches are off. But he runs this 1 inch mohawk straight down this kid's head, and he turns him around, and
Kid was devastated.
he just started crying. And
Only because, like,
I mean, it gave him what he asked for.
he did, and it honestly, it's a funny haircut. So everybody in there's laughing, but we're not laughing at the kid. We're just laughing because we're definitely not laughing at the kid, but it was a funny situation. The kid probably thought, it looked stupid, which anybody that gets a mohawk don't ever get an inch thick.
I would
Always
say
keep it wide.
3 inches.
Yeah, at least. But the next day, I think his dad did say that he liked it. He was cool with it.
It grew on him.
It grew on him. He was cool with it, and he still comes back to Dakota and still gets a mohawk.
Yeah,
but
still gets a
not. He
mohawk.
gets it better. He gets a
Well,
thicker.
after that, then Dakota took it way too wide, and I called that the Amish mohawk because from the front the kid looked Amish. It just looked like a straight undercut, but then from the side it was like a mohawk. But now he's got it dialed in, and the kid, I mean, he still comes to him, and
Yeah, it was just a funny situation because Dakota being what you say is a Twinkie, so Dakota was a Twinkie. Yeah, Dakota is a It was a Twinkie at the time, so that
For
was
sure.
That's even funnier.
he always is getting like the craziest stuff as a Twinkie. It's like, I was like, dude, he's got it. And every time, it's just one of those things. I'm
Yes.
sure in any job, you got somebody that at one point or another, they got to jump in the fire and they
For
got to
sure.
do this stuff.
You have to learn and adapt to these things that's going to cross your
Anytime
way.
super hard stuff or anything that just looks absolutely crazy or crazy,
Yes.
where Quest comes in, me and Buckwheat just look over at each other like,
Yes. Actually, I gotta tell you this too, because I'm thinking about it. I'm not gonna let it just slip away. So, Dakota's all of our barber chairs are different.
yeah.
Some got to push down to pump up. Some of them got to pull back. Some of them, if you pull it all the way back and pull up, it reclines. And some of them, you just push it all the way down and reclines. Dakota's reclines in the middle of. He has to pass it every time he does anything with it.
Yeah.
So, dude, this shit is funny.
This is funny.
So, our chairs ain't. But just like say our chairs are probably this wide, honestly.
Yeah, they're
To fit
100
me,
years old.
Yeah, they're over 100 years old. And, Dakota had this heavier set guy come in. He fit in the chair perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Dakota's pumping him up, and out of nowhere, he hits that sweet spot. And the sweet spot is right in the middle. So if you just slow down a little bit,
You held it
you're
there.
in the bed.
If there's weight going back, you're
Yes.
going backwards. So he hits it and like a lazy boy, dude.
Out of
Shoots
nowhere,
straight back.
Dude, he went straight back. And I'm telling you, this guy was like this. I'm not kidding you. And hey, I ain't bullshitting. Listen, he said like this. And Dakota's like, oh shit, man. That guy's like, what are you doing? Dude, you can't
Hey,
make
man,
it up. And it happens to him now he kind of knows when it's gonna happen, but doesn't. But it's funny every time. So I always tell them, you're sitting in the Chevrolet, brother. That's it.
Yeah.
That
That-
is the Chevrolet. You
That's-
sit in that thing, you're gonna want to lean back.
You are going to Chevrolet back.
That is hilarious, dude. And it still happens to this day because it's just that sweet spot. You can't prevent it. You just hope you don't.
If someone's
pause
putting
on
too
it.
much pressure on the back of the chair, you hit
Yeah.
the sweet spot, you're going back.
The only way it doesn't is if they're sitting like forward slumped. You know what I mean?
Hey,
It's
this
funny.
this is the time to tell you guys, when you sit in a barber's chair, you step over the footrest, and the footrest is the entire bottom, not just
Yes.
the part that swivels on the top. You step over it, and then you sit down like you got some sense.
Do not stand on it.
As people, not only do you stand on it when you get into the chair or when you get out of the chair, people will get into the chair and then fall back on it and like about break the back. I'm like,
Swear.
dude, are you trying to like fall out of this? Like,
Oh yeah.
is your back hurting? Or
My
is
favorites.
this your-
My favorites when they do this number right here. They'll be sitting here, and they're like, oh, you
Oh,
would
they're
have thought
drooping their
that
head.
somebody's head has a hydraulic lift. I swear. And then it's the biggest guys you got. And then when they get up, they just they stand on your footrest for at least
Oh yeah, standing around,
5
reaching for their
seconds.
wallet, going through their pocket.
yeah. And I'm like, hey, bro, like in my head, I'm obviously not saying this to him just because
It's like, dude,
when you're in the shop, you kind of just let things go by because some people just isn't aware of certain things. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah,
inconsiderate. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say inconsiderate. That's all you can say. They're not paying attention. They're worried about what they're doing and just going on with their day.
Yeah, and I don't think it's ever on purpose. Some people just don't know. But if
Just
you
yeah.
watch this show,
You
don't
know,
step on
and
the
we have a lot of
footrest.
signs in the shop, so
Don't step on
people,
the
yes,
footrest. Because then we gotta buy a new chair.
yes,
Because if you
and
break the footrest, it's connected to the whole chair.
man, they
That'd
don't
be
make the
a-
parts for them anymore. It's
that'd be a
hard
disaster.
for sure. That is funny though. Dakota is funny,
Tell them about T-Mobile.
dude. It's oh my god. So look, guys. I would say about 7 months exactly now.
Yeah.
7 months exactly. You know why
It's when the new iPhone came out.
when the new iPhone came out, and you know for some people they buy your phone out cash and you keep it and you pay the payment to keep the online service on it and you can go on. I would say 95% of people doesn't buy the phone out and pays it on top of the payment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just doesn't pay the phone off.
Yeah,
and
the
just
extra
keeps doing it. Yeah.
$20 or whatever.
Yeah, so me and my wife went to Sam's Club and what was it? T-Mobile was sticking out to us or something. They had like that little stand in there and something.
Yeah.
And so we started talking to them and we were like, well, we don't even know what we pay at AT&T because we were at AT&T first. And they have you like a fixed rate. It's just like a promo.
Yeah.
What it's called, a promo. So we looked at it and we're like, all right, you know what? We'll think about it. We go home and there is a local T-Mobile store in our hometown. So we went over there and, you know, they had this promo where they pay your phones off. You give them your phones. You give them your phones. They pay it off. They give you the new phone on them.
Yeah.
And you just stay with them. The tricky thing is here for everybody that goes and gets a new phone, they're like, oh yeah, the new phone's on us, right?
Right.
We're gonna pay the phone off. You don't got to pay the phone payment, right? That's good. You got to pay the phone to keep it online, but we're gonna give the new phone to both of you on us.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And they're going to nowadays. It's new. Now they're going to send you. They say you can either pay it off yourself,
Yeah.
which is preferred,
Right.
or you can wait for the virtual card that they're going to email you, and they're going to give you the exact amount of your payoff balance. And when you get that, then
Then you
you're
can
supposed
pay it
to
off.
call AT&T, which is who you're paying off,
Yeah.
to call them and say, okay, here's the card number. I need to pay this
Yep.
to pay the final payoff. So I'm 7 months in now. My phone is not paid off. Neither one of them. So I've got a phone call from. Well, actually, it's not paid off. So let's just go how they got to there because this
Yeah.
is a big story.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous and it's still going.
This has been a long time.
This has been a long. I mean,
because
7
the way
months
you
worth.
found out was you were in collections.
Yeah. So we're trying to buy a house. We're trying to buy a house, and
Yeah.
out of nowhere, my credit says collections warning.
Yep.
AT&T phones are not paid off.
Yeah, and you're poor. but
Before
you're not
that, we knew they obviously wasn't paid off because they're supposed to send us a virtual card.
Yeah.
So let's just say after we got our phones, we go about 3 weeks and we go back up there. We're like, hey man, we still haven't got the virtual card. Well, it takes about 10 business days. I'm like, brother, I've been out for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, let us just resend it. It's going to take 10 business days. So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I go back home. At this point, when you go to with anybody that goes to a T-Mobile store and the guy that's working on your deal says, hey, man, give it 10 business days, what are you going to do? You're going to give it 10 business days.
Yeah.
Because that's
Usually
who
that's how it
works
works.
there. That's usually what they tell you to do because they know what they're talking about. So I give it 10 business days. I go back. They're like, man, you're not going to believe this. I said, what's up, man? They didn't send it in. So it's going to take another 10 business days. I'm like, you know what, man? As long as y'all pay this thing off, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I wait another 10 business days. I walk in there. And by the way, both of these, so now it's 20 business days.
Yeah.
They were supposed to call me back when it was supposed to be sent, and they never called me back. So I'm driving home, and I just got off work. I'm driving home. I stopped by there, and just because they were open, and I said, hey, man, I haven't heard any update on this thing.
Yeah.
I have not heard one update on me getting this paid off. And by the way, it's in collections now because this is when I got that text.
Yeah.
This is right when I got that text. And we're literally in the middle of trying to buy a house. And it was just, I was like, I'm going to lose. I lost my mind. So I go in there. And, they got customers in there. And I'm trying to be as respectful as I can.
If
So,
anybody works at T-Mobile stores, those stores are useless.
yes. And I don't want to say you are useless.
You're
'cause
not useless.
I don't
It's
wanna
not
say you're useless.
the order of operations. and
Yes.
what's going on there. But when I went to buy a new phone, I was like, "Hey, can I buy a new phone?" And I sat there for 30 minutes with 2 people in there, and I get it, like, they're arguing about dumb stuff with customers, and that
Yes.
sucks, but then I sit there and they're like, "Oh, you just order it online." I'm like,
Then what the hell are you here
"I
for?
wanna order it here."
What is your store here
What
for?
is this store here for if
That's
I
exactly
can't
right.
come to the phone store and buy a phone?
Yes.
The most simple thing about a phone is getting the phone.
Yes.
I can't get a phone here?
Yes. So, like I said, I go back in there and he's gonna be like, he says, "Brother, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's out of our hands. It's my manager says you need to call customer care." And this is the funny part. You call customer care, they're like, "Hey, I
Exactly.
can't talk to you over the phone about your phone stuff. You have
Yeah.
to go into the store." So at this point, I'm at the knowledge. This is what I've learned, that both of these, the
Neither one
call
of 'em can
care
do anything.
and the store, are both ignorant. They don't know what's going on.
They can't
So
do anything.
so I call 611. I finally get to the customer care, and I'm like, "Hey," explain the exact same story I just explained to you. And they're like, "Well, let me call the rebate office," which the rebate office is exactly what the promo is. The rebate office is the ones that set the promo. That's who's
Yeah.
going to get your promo approved. So they're like, I didn't get to talk to the rebate office the first time. The lady that I was talking to did. And the lady that I talked to was actually helpful. But so she says, "Oh, well, I don't know what to say." The rebate office says it's 180 days past what's going on. With 180 days is passed, so that promo's over.
Yeah.
So that promo's over. So that basically what that lady was saying is the rebate office ain't paying your phones off. So she said basically all these stores ain't owned by one T-Mobile. They're all like locally owned, I
Yeah,
guess. Like not one person just owns all the T-Mobiles.
Yeah.
So
They're franchised.
yeah, they're franchised out. So she says basically the store owner's gonna have to pay that off. That store's paying your phones off now because they've waited too long
Yeah.
to send you it.
And they probably sell 3
Yes,
phones a year.
and by the way, let me back up a tad bit. They say they send you these virtual cards to your T-Mobile account, and the lady inside said at the store said, "Well, can I see your phone?" I'm like, "Sure." Give her the phone. She's like, "Yeah, it was never sent to you."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, well, the lady that sent it to me is not here right now." She's like, "Well, who was it?" And I explained it to her. She's like, "Yeah, she got fired." So now they're trying to pin it on her. They pinned it on her, but she can't do nothing because she
Yeah,
got
she
fired.
ain't even there.
And then, she tells me that the rebate office ain't handling it. So I go back to T-Mobile and said, "Hey, brother, I called 611, called the customer care.
How many
They
times
said it's on you."
How many times you been there?
To T-Mobile in the last 2 months. Last week I went twice. And listen to this. So after all that, phones didn't get paid off at the time. So I'm calling them. I go back in there, I told them to talk 611. They said it's on you. They're like, "Well, they're saying it's on us." I'm like, "You know what? I got a great idea. What time y'all close?" They said, "Oh, we close in like 30 minutes. I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll make a phone call." I call 611. And I'm like, I said, "Do you have the notes in front of you what's going on in my situation?" She said, "Yes, go ahead. What you have?" I'm like, "I ain't got nothing. I'm gonna let you talk to them." So now they're talking.
Yeah.
So now I got the store and 611 talking to each other. Okay. So they finally they talk for like 10 minutes. And then I'm already telling these guys I'm not leaving until this is resolved.
Yeah.
I don't care if you close at 9. I'll be here. At
Something
10.
has to give.
Yes. So
It's been too long.
it's been too long. I signed a contract saying that you were going to pay my phones off, and I signed, that you would hold that up because I'm
Yeah.
paying you the payment on these phones every month.
In 10 business days, it went by 4 times.
Yes. So at this point, they don't figure nothing out. So I get on the phone with this lady. This is the best part. This is the best part of this whole story. She says, "Okay, I'm going to talk to my manager. Thank you." So I'm on hold for 10 minutes. Come back. She says, "Okay, I talked to them. They said that they're going to pay 25% of your payoff."
Yeah.
"No, you ain't, because I ain't taking that. Let me talk to your manager."
Yo.
"Hold on, sir. Let me go back to my supervisor." Okay, cool. They go back. "Okay, sir. I talked to them. They said they're going to pay 50%. I said, "Okay." I said, "You pay 50% of it and then take one of those phones and bring it back to me."
Yeah. Send me
Because you're only
50%
paying half of my
back.
phone off. So, yeah, just give me half of a phone. I'll let you pay half of it, and I'll pay the other half. "Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Actually, your phones are in a warehouse, so we're not going to be able to get those back." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit. So pay my phones off."
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back to my supervisor. She comes back. I swear, 75%. Now we're at 75. I'm not making this up.
I can't believe
I'm at
this story.
75% now. She's like, "We're going to pay 75%. So I said, "Okay, look, honey, I'm not mad at her because she should probably do what she's told.
Yeah.
And she can't tell me she's going to pay it
Yeah.
off. She ain't her approval." So
She's
I'm
trying
like,
to get
honey,
you
I'm done talking to you. Let me talk to you. Let me just talk to the guy you're going back to.
Yeah.
Because I'm not paying 1 penny of this. And now we're 7 months behind. I forgot to tell you. Now there's late fees on top of it.
Yeah.
$800 was what the payoff was. Now it's at $1,400.
Yeah.
So, she finally gets me that supervisor. Supervisor tells me the exact same thing. Says, sir, what we'll do is we'll pay 100% of the phones, not the late fees.
Yeah.
We're going to pay 100% of the phones, and it's only going to be credited to your account. So you're not going to get the virtual card. Basically, I still have to pay my phones off,
Yeah.
and I ain't got to pay my phone bill for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So they're giving me money that they know is going to come right back to them.
Right.
I said, bullshit. I ain't doing that neither. I'm not taking that. I'm not doing that. You're going to send me the virtual card. Or I said, how about this? I said, let's just bypass this whole thing.
Yeah.
Send me my phones back. I'll give you your phones. Don't pay that off because your service sucks anyway. I don't want to be with you guys anyway.
Yeah.
T-Mobile sucks.
T-Mobile.
So I hate them. I literally
Don't
hate
get
them.
us because T-Mobile.
I hate them. So
T-Mobile.
I finally go to, I was like, the lady said, well, we can only do the credit. I'm like, all right, let me talk to your supervisor because I'm not, there's always somebody bigger in the corporate like that.
Yeah.
I want your boss.
Yeah.
So I am 4 supervisors in. I swear to God. 4 supervisors in, and he's like, sir, let me ask you, I got to ask this. I'm like, all right, go ahead and ask. And he was like, why has it took you this long to call us like this? I said, because the store that sold me the stuff has told me what to do, and I thought they were,
something.
yeah, I thought I was listening to the people that's telling me what to do. What do you mean? If you come and get a haircut and I tell you what to do with it, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you're just going to listen to who is specialized in this.
Yo.
So I did what I was supposed to do. But now it's got to the point that those guys ain't doing what they're supposed to do. So now I got to go ahead. And that's where I'm here with you.
Yep.
So,
Are your phones paid off?
no. So my phones haven't got paid off, which we did just get an email
Is that
saying.
one of your wallets empty on the floor?
Yes, actually. That's because I'm in the middle of buying a house. It's birthday. But yes, dude. So at this point, our phones haven't got paid off.
Yeah.
We have got an email saying that it has been. They literally emailed said it's been approved to go further up the chain.
That is insane, dude.
Yes.
They literally signed a contract, told you they'd pay the phones off.
Yes.
Haven't paid them off. You went to collections. You got late fees. They're
Yes.
not trying to pay those.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough.
Advantage you. I got a question for you now.
Yeah.
So, with all these things going on in the world, with the negative, the positive. If
Yeah.
there's one thing in the world that you could change,
Yeah.
one thing in the world that you could change, what would it be?
Man, that's a good question. I think that I would change the amount of division that we have. And I would say that I would hope that people could come back to a little bit of normalcy where we could talk to each other, and no matter what differing views that you have and who you vote for and things like that, it feels so extreme where like one side says if you vote this way you're an extremist here, and on the other side you're extremist here. I would just challenge people to get back to our roots and what democracy is, which is talking to each other, seeing both sides, still be friends, and don't let those kind of debates and differences dictate your friendships and your family and the people that you're going to need when all of this stuff goes down, because at the end of the day, I don't feel like any of those people have the best interest for us.
No, I agree. I agree with you. That's exactly what I would have said. I thought I've been thinking about that actually since I've been driving over here. Just because we really just been thinking about what we're going to talk about today. And like you said, I would like it to be, there's no division. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Why? I mean, you got people that hated the democracy side, and you got the people that hated Republican.
Well, and that's why, people that you've grown up with that have done so many things for you in your entire life and you were so close with, like, I just watch relationships fall apart over these, like, something that's
over one vote.
One vote, not even the vote, because you may have voted for the same person, but you may see one part of it as different, or they don't even know who you voted for.
Mm-hmm.
I've never told a person who I would vote for or who I voted for, because I don't.
You don't want to ruin any relationship because
in my job I can't.
Because
and I'm just
same with mine. You can't say who you vote for, and you can't say anything because you don't know
yeah,
whether it's going to ruin you for
Yeah,
the
and
craziest
people are gonna
reasons.
say, each side now is gonna say to us, you can say it. You can stand up for what you believe in, and that is true to an extent. And I always do. But the only thing that I like to talk about are my morals and the things that I find value in,
Mhm.
and things like that. But when it comes to a political side,
It
not
ruins
only
lives.
do I not have a side, I truly just disagree with both sides,
I
and
agree.
I
Yeah.
don't think that that's going to change for me. What I do hope is, regardless of who our president is at any time or people that are in charge, I hope that things get fixed. Hope that things do get better, and I think that's what we have to do is rally behind whoever we
We all
have.
gotta become one again.
Yeah, we got to become one. Get behind whoever we do have, and hope it makes a difference and be the difference.
Yes, that's a really, really good answer. I have another I have another question too. To get off the political stuff, but
Yeah, let's stay off of that.
stay off that. I didn't mean to bring that into that. I was just really just asking a regular
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just turned
No,
into
because I
that.
think I think that's a huge
It definitely
part
needed to
of the
be.
world.
Yes,
So ask if you how you would change the world. That's part of our world.
yes,
Every day.
that's very true. If you have, so how do I ask it? Your worst fear
Yeah,
in life.
yeah.
How?
What is it?
Yeah, you can say it, yeah. I'm gonna word it wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, just say that.
So
What's your worst fear in life, and how? I guess how do you manage it? Maybe.
yeah. So I would say that my worst fear, and people are gonna have different viewpoints on this too, but for me, it's dying, because when I think of dying, I think of, you close your eyes, and this soul and body that we have now is never here again. And everything that you've ever worked for, every relationship you ever made, and all those things are no longer there. Poof, gone. So that's the only thing that we're promised. And
It's like nothing stops, man. Everything just continues going. It's just like it's crazy.
I
Man.
pray uh that there is another place that we go, no matter what thoughts or belief you have, uh, that we get to experience eternal happiness, however that happens for us. But it would be hard for me to say that with my questioning brain, that I say, I don't know. And so, what I would say is my biggest fear is dying, which is just losing all the people, and I understand the hurt that death brings, and people in our community are experiencing that right now. Um, and I'd like to say to them that I understand your guys' pain, and we'll dig into that a different day. But um,
That definitely, I like you. You've answered it. You don't have to say anymore. That's really probably mine too. I really, before I had a kid, I felt like I was a pretty tough person when it came to death and stuff. Because
yeah,
I like to think that not anything to women, but I feel like men should be strong. That the guy of the house should always keep you guys together. You know what I mean? When it
yeah,
comes to death, you gotta be tough. Don't let your kids see you crying because that's when they start crying. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You just gotta be tough. After I had Harrison, soft as it gets.
yeah.
My
And
worst fear is to probably losing a kid. Yeah,
I
that'd be
think
it.
that shows you too, like, you may had a viewpoint of that's how a man should be, but now you understand the strength of family and
Yes.
everyone being a whole strengthened unit.
Yes.
And it's like if you were about to be tackled or something like that, and it's one person spinning in a circle looking for everyone, or if you have three people standing out facing, you are able to see the potential problems that you have and attack them together instead of one person. There's always strength in numbers, and I think that your family is something that's so important, and things like having a child, experiencing death in your family, things like that show the strength that you guys have, and and builds you tighter for when other things happen.
For sure. And we will have an episode of like you said, we'll get into those other things.
Yeah.
I like to talk about, those kinds of things. But that segment right there, that was me putting you on the spot. I'm sure I'll get
Yeah.
it one time, but I liked doing it. I like putting him on the spot. I like seeing what your brain can do when
Yeah.
when you're not prepared for
Yeah,
something
when
like
you're not
that.
prepared for it. And I just hope that because I'm not editing that, I'm just gonna put
I
that
don't
out
want you
there.
to. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna put
edit
that
it.
out there, and that's my authentic answer.
I
That's
like
my
it
authentic brain.
for sure.
Uh,
I mean, not to. I hate when people pass away or anything, but I do like talking about death and having
yeah,
people explain and their experience of it and how they get over it. Because
yeah.
well, not even that. You don't ever get over it. You're never gonna get over
You
somebody
don't.
passing away.
You,
You're always just gonna try to keep going and keep moving
yeah,
forward.
and I think that it's important to understand death and understand that not everyone's gonna be here forever.
So true.
Will their spirit live on through you? Yes, but the love, holding grudges, not trying to be tough, all those things, I I just think that they should be let go, and you should understand that, like, people aren't here forever, and we should.
I like that you. I like that you ran into that because I'm going through a situation right now, and you as a man and as a woman, you go through these situations where it's kind of like a puberty situation where I'm going through the situation where you you try to tell a guy straightforward what's going on.
Yeah, and
You
that's
try to,
hard. It's
dude.
hard.
It is so
It's
hard.
hard to
It
look at
is.
somebody
Why
that.
can't I tell you straightforward what I think and
Yeah,
and what I think I know is right?
yeah,
Obviously, I'm not right about everything, but when I'm having this conversation with this person about, I'm trying to help you succeed.
yeah,
I want you to succeed in life. Why can't I tell you you're wrong here and that you
right.
need to be doing better? I'm older than you. I've done the exact same
The
thing.
exact same thing. I I
Why can't
I
why,
wrote the blueprint for what
yeah,
you're trying to do, and I want to help you take a shortcut to get on the right path. And you're
yes.
so frustrated with me, and that's not just everyone's gonna relate
And
to
you
that.
and every time I do and anytime I do that or anytime anybody does it, they're I mean, you can lose somebody like
Yeah,
that.
you can lose them.
Like you said, you can hold a grudge.
They look at it as such a defensive thing when
Like
you're
just taking criticism, man.
like,
You
dude,
take
I'm
it,
trying to help you. And there's been times that I've done it to you.
and I've got
People
mad.
have done
But
it to me,
yes,
and I would say, first off, I'd be like, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or I'd be like, well, look at you, and it doesn't come from a place of look at me and compare to me, compare to where you want to be, and compare to the
yes,
kind of person that you want to strive to be, and that's what I'm trying to help you get to, not make the mistakes that I got to.
swear.
And people, that's where true learning comes from, is listening to what people have to tell you and learning from their experiences, and that's called growth and evolution, and missing out on
Yes.
the small tidbits of what we can give you, not just us, but anyone.
Really, I kind of looked at it like I am in the situation that I'm in. I am a guide. I'm a guide that, usually people would buy when you go hunting. They
Yeah.
take you where you need to go to kill something.
Yep.
I'm a guide to get you through life because I've been further than you,
Right.
and it's my job
Yep.
to help you and guide you through this to where you don't hit the humps that I've hit.
Yeah.
Correct? I'm taking you through a road that I know is smooth
Yeah.
because I've been down the bumpy one.
And the problem is,
And I'm still a dumbass.
it
That's what they
comes
think.
from such a
I don't
place
know.
of sincere, unconditional love. And for some reason, you get made out to be the bad guy.
Yeah, they tell you don't love them. They say all you do is not support me in the things that I want to do.
You're mean.
You're mean.
And this is directed towards a singular person right now, but this problem is widespread. There's got to be
everybody.
so
That's
many people.
yes.
out
I'm
here.
not calling. And he's gonna watch this. And
Yeah.
I'm not pointing him out. I'm not putting his business out there. But at the same time, I went through it, and I've even asked my friends. Like I went through the same stuff. I was hard headed. I didn't want to work. I worked harder getting out of work
Yep.
to go.
Yep.
So, and I've asked my friends, man, how did you not give up on me? What made you stay in there?
Yeah.
What made you not be like, you're a loser, bro. I don't want to be around you. I'm
Right.
done helping you because I've burned bridges.
Yep.
And they all they can say is, man, just we loved you. We
Yep.
love you, and that's all we're never gonna turn our backs on you. So
And that's
and
the same question
that's
that
so huge, man.
I just think that it's huge. The exactly what you said. The root of all of that is not giving up on people. Because my mom asked the same question, entirely set of different circumstances, but she's always said,
Why you not giving up?
"Why don't you give up on me?" And I said, "Because I love you more than I love myself, and I want to see you succeed."
Yes.
And No matter what, I've always seen the good in you.
For sure. And that, oh, dude, in the situation I'm in,
It's
I've
hard to keep turning,
jeopardized family, bro.
turning the other cheek.
It is, and I've jeopardized my family. I've jeopardized everything I love,
Yeah.
everything that I've created,
Yeah.
because I love this person so much.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man. It hits hard. It gets me emotional a little bit, but it hits hard. And
Because
I just want the person to succeed, and they think that if I tell them one little, constructive criticism, man, it's
yeah.
it turns it into a fight, man, and start not talking
And
to
it
each
sucks
other.
that that's the way it goes.
It sucks, man, and you find yourself thinking before I even say anything, you're like, do you say something? Do you let it go? If you let it go, are you enabling it?
Yeah.
If you don't say something, do you even care? Are you helping him? You're kind of hurting him if you don't say something.
Right.
So, at one point you got to, tighten him nuts up, buddy, and say, hey,
I would say that
you want him to be better. So you got to explain to him what he's got to do. And then when you do it, it's like you said, bro,
it's a
thank you for
lose-lose
answering.
until you win. And
Yes.
you want people, I would say that our family are people that do not care how it makes you feel, they're going to tell you.
Yes.
And I valued that from each grandmother I've had, each grandfather I've had. My mom always keeps it real with me. My
Yeah.
brothers, my sister, and my cousins. I will not sugarcoat shit to shit. I do not care how it makes you feel because I want to see you succeed. And maybe I don't know shit. Maybe I don't, but try it because there's some root of love in there, and there's a little bit of knowledge in there because I've been there.
Yes, and I always say, and I said it to you, I've said it to everybody. Don't take the easy way out, man. Anything worth having, it's not easy. It's not easy. Nothing's free.
Nope.
So, yeah, like I said, man,
I think that's a good talk. I think a lot of people are gonna.
I think there's a lot of people out there probably in the same situation right this second.
They're gonna
just
relate to that.
Yes, I hope so, because I am.
I think it's important just to say, grab onto your people, make sure that they know that you love them. Make sure you're not scared to show them the guidance they need, and be the person that you wish you had in the times that you needed somebody.
Yes, and always know, man, people's watching.
Yeah.
And when I say people, it's your kids,
Yeah.
your younger brothers,
Yep.
your sisters, anybody younger. When you know that you could be a role model.
You don't know who's watching.
You don't know who's watching, and at the age of when you are a role model, you don't care.
Yeah.
Just do better, and anything that you do, kind of step back and look and see, like, if my little brother did this, or my little sister did this, or my kid did this, how would you feel?
Yeah.
So like you said, hold your close ones. Make sure you keep them accountable.
Yep.
Just
dude, and so just to end on this topic,
it's a touchy one, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I took my nephew Calvin, which we just did a show together. He wants to be a YouTuber. He was in love with doing that. So I took him to a wrestling meet with me, and he is a hilarious kid. But I took him to a wrestling meet, and there was probably 500 people in the gym, and he ran around. I'm not kidding when I say this. He, like, if you were going to like collect money for a split the pot or something, he went to every single person in the gym and said, Chiefs or Eagles? And if you said Eagles, he'd say, you're wrong. Or if you'd say Chiefs, he'd be like, you pass. And then after that, he would just say, like, he would find a way to like tell them that he's safe because he's with his Uncle Logan. He takes care of me. And I was like, dude, like, for me, what else could you ask for?
Dude,
You're setting the right example, and that's what we hope that we're doing. And
for sure. And if there's anybody out there that I've ever led the wrong way, I totally apologize. I didn't mean to do that, brother. I know I wasn't.
But it takes time to learn those things.
To back up, when I say set a good role model, I know to say that because I wasn't a good one.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I just wasn't good. There was things that, I was young and dumb. I didn't pay attention. I have a lot of siblings, and I don't talk to them. Yeah. Almost any of them. So it's a...
How many do you have?
My dad's got 7 of us, and my mom's got, what? Matt, Krista, Dawson, and me. 4. So there's like 11, including me. Yeah. And it's sad because I don't talk to none of them but one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it is touchy. I wish I talked to all of them. All of them don't see the same way I see. not a lot of them really educated in the situation of that. But yeah, so those people that do have the siblings and do have all those things, be good role models, man. Come on. There's,
I just think trying to be a good role model in general
yeah,
and living life just like we said, to be the best person you can every day. Everyone's gonna make mistakes, in the words of Miley Cyrus, but trying to